All right, Yankees faithful, gather close, because we need to have a serious conversation. Devin Williams has once again stepped into the spotlight, and it's becoming downright exasperating to watch. Every time he's called upon in a high-stakes moment, fans hold their breath with the expectation that he'll slam the door shut, safeguard the lead, or navigate out of a jam. Yet, more often than not, he collapses under the weight of the moment. And let's cut through the excuses. This isn't about strike zones or questionable umpiring. Forget all that noise. The truth is etched in the numbers and on the field. Williams was supposed to be the trusted arm, the reliable weapon in the late innings when everything hangs in the balance. Instead, he's proven time and time again that he cannot be depended on when the pressure peaks. And that's exactly why Yankee fans' patience is wearing thin. Breaking down the struggles in the crucible of high-leverage situations, the very moments that can define an entire season, Williams falters. He's pitched in over 30 such games this year, and opponents are torching him for a batting average north of .250 with an OPS that inspires zero fear. Hitters are reading him cleanly, squaring up consistently, and the damage is undeniable. Even in medium leverage outings, the story is nearly as grim. Runs pile up when they matter most. When you summon a reliever like him in a tie game, with postseason hopes and divisional positioning hanging by a thread, it's not strategy. It's a gamble, and one that repeatedly backfires. Expectations versus reality. Let's not forget, Williams wasn't brought in as some reclamation project. His resume before donning pinstripes was stellar. A dominant relief force, equally effective closing games, or bridging to the ninth. That reputation was why the Yankees snatched him up in the offseason. The expectation, a difference maker in the most pivotal innings. But baseball doesn't reward reputation. It rewards results. And this season, the results have been a nightmare. April, an ERA north of 9 across 12 appearances. May, slightly better but still ugly at over 4. June, worse. July, marginal improvement. August, mediocrity defined. And just last night, 4 earned runs in another so-called high-pressure outing. Put all that together, and you don't see reliability. You see a liability. The eye test matters too. The frustration isn't just statistical, it's visual. The mound presence is shaky. Constant jawing with umpires, visible exasperation, body language that screams mental overload. You can tell he's straining, laboring through every pitch. Effort is visible, execution is absent, and in Major League Baseball, execution is all that counts. Yet Aaron Boone continues rolling the dice, inserting Williams into these do-or-die moments, clinging to the hope that rhythm and confidence will magically reappear. But this isn't spring training. This is a franchise clawing for a postseason berth. You cannot afford to repeatedly gamble on a pitcher who has already shown you he cannot shoulder the burden of the biggest innings. Other options exist. That's what makes it maddening. Alternatives are there. Mark Leiter Jr., Camilo Doval, each with their own flaws, yes, but both showing flashes of steadiness in tight games. And still, the pattern persists. Boone sets up the bullpen plan only to hand Williams the ball when the pressure spikes highest. The outcome? Predictably disastrous. This isn't about vendettas, it's about performance and accountability. When a manager stubbornly sticks with a reliever who consistently sabotages winnable games, fans have every right to demand answers. Consistency wins championships. Williams was acquired to dominate under duress, to thrive in October atmospheres, and while there have been occasional glimpses of that old brilliance, baseball isn't about the occasional. It's about sustained excellence. Consistency builds momentum. Consistency builds confidence. Consistency fuels October runs. Instead, What we've seen is a recurring pattern. Pitches that miss, bats that connect, runs that snowball. These aren't flukes. These are systemic failures in the most pressurized environments. And for a team like the Yankees, fighting tooth and nail in the division race, every single run in a close contest is amplified. The bigger picture. Ultimately, this isn't just a Devin Williams problem. It's a Yankees problem. Boone's repeated insistence on throwing him into the fire, despite overwhelming evidence of unreliability, is a strategic blunder. There's a difference between giving a player space to battle through adversity and repeatedly jeopardizing your ball club's chances of victory. This is not a rebuilding year. The Yankees are contenders. Every managerial choice echoes louder. And if Williams continues to be miscast as the savior in high-leverage innings, those echoes could turn into the sound of October slipping away.
Time and again, Williams has failed to validate being that trusted option in pivotal moments. And that's the heart of the fans' frustration. It's never personal. It's about the magnitude of the stakes. When the score is deadlocked, when every single pitch carries weight, when an entire season teeters on the edge, the Yankees need arms that can rise above the tension. Devin Williams has flashed glimpses of brilliance, but fleeting flashes don't build legacies. In a league where durability and consistency under fire separate champions from forgotten names, sporadic talent simply won't suffice. Watching him take the mound in these defining spots feels less like strategy and more like a dangerous gamble the Yankees can ill afford. Meanwhile, capable alternatives sit idle in the bullpen, waiting for an opportunity they may never receive. Yet the call continually falls back to Williams. That's what intensifies the irritation. It's not speculation. It's not theory. It's cold, hard evidence. The statistics, the outcomes, the repeated failures, all pointing in the same direction. This isn't a single bad outing or even one unlucky stretch. It's a season-long narrative written in strikeouts, walks, hits surrendered, and opponents' batting averages in pressure scenarios. The proof is undeniable. Yet each time Boone turns to him, it feels like sitting through a rerun everyone wishes they could fast-forward past. The Yankees are a franchise built on calculation, precision, and ruthless efficiency, especially in the ninth inning of a tie game. They should never be relying on blind luck or praying for a sudden turnaround from a pitcher who has consistently faltered when it matters most. No one is questioning Williams' effort or raw ability. The talent exists. The work ethic is evident. But professional sports aren't measured in effort. They're measured in execution. And the Yankees demand execution, not unfulfilled potential. In a sport defined by razor-thin margins where a single game can dictate the destiny of an entire season, continually entrusting critical moments to a pitcher who hasn't delivered is a recipe for disappointment, squandered opportunity, and a fan base left disillusioned. The bullpen is not merely a collection of arms. It's a meticulously managed ecosystem where each choice reverberates with consequences. High-leverage innings are the crucible where seasons are forged or broken. Boone's repeated reliance on Williams, despite overwhelming statistical evidence of his struggles, raises unavoidable questions about managerial judgment. This goes beyond one blown save or one heartbreaking collapse. It's a pattern, a habit, a philosophy that has persisted all year. Consider this. When the Yankees hold a slim lead late in the game, the 8th or 9th inning becomes sacred territory. Every pitch carries disproportionate weight, and the margin for error shrinks to nothing. Unfortunately, Williams has not consistently demonstrated the composure to navigate such pressure. His opponent, batting averages, OPS allowed, and ERA in high-stakes situations tell a damning story. His flashes of promise remain exceptions, not the standard. Other arms, like Mark Leiter Jr., who has consistently posted superior numbers in pressure scenarios, or even Doval, who despite his own flaws has at times proven more capable, offer legitimate alternatives. Yet Boone continues to default to Williams, gambling that past reputation might magically translate into present dominance. But in baseball, hope doesn't win games. Results do. And the cost of failure isn't just a tally in the loss column. It's momentum. It's confidence. When a closer or setup man implodes in a high-leverage moment, the damage spreads beyond the scoreboard. The offense tightens, the defense grows anxious, and the entire rhythm of the game spirals. That's why bullpen management isn't just strategy, it's psychology. Boone's decisions ripple through the dugout, and when Williams falters, the whole team feels the weight. That's why the decision of who commands the mound in the 8th or 9th inning is absolutely pivotal. Boone's choices create ripple effects that extend far beyond a single frame. When Williams falters, the consequences aren't confined to that night's box score. They reverberate through the season's trajectory. Fans recognize this, which is why the frustration mounts. It's avoidable. Alternatives exist. Arms with superior metrics in pressure scenarios, yet the burden continues to fall on a pitcher who has failed to seize those moments. And then there's the psychological toll. Williams himself undoubtedly feels the crushing weight of these calls, the pressure to deliver while already in a slump. That mental strain often bleeds into his physical performance. You see it on the mound. Arguments with umpires, visible. Exasperation, desperate attempts to steady himself. It reflects effort, yes, but effort without execution is meaningless in high-stakes innings. Mental resilience is vital, but it must be married to results. Boone's insistence on giving him repeated opportunities may be designed to build confidence. But at what cost? The Yankees are contending for division supremacy and postseason positioning. Squandering critical chances on a struggling arm risks the entire campaign. And this isn't abstract theory. The numbers make it irrefutable. Whether in high leverage, medium leverage, or even low leverage contests, the trend is consistent. Inflated batting averages against, bloated OPS figures, and a glaring lack of dependability in the very moments that define seasons. It's not an isolated misstep. It's a season-long pattern etched into the stat sheets. That's why fans, analysts, and perhaps even teammates grow exasperated. Context makes Boone's decisions even harder to defend. The Yankees compete in one of baseball's toughest divisions, where every victory is precious and every slip magnified. There is no margin for managerial gambling in the late innings. When the choice lies between a pitcher who has proven his mettle under fire and one who has not, the answer should be glaringly obvious. Yet time and again, Williams gets the nod. It's like watching the same nightmare scenario unfold on repeat. A lead placed recklessly in jeopardy. This is not about questioning talent. Williams has ability. But elite organizations aren't measured by raw talent. They're measured by how effectively they deploy resources. Boone's strategy has crossed the line from questionable to indefensible. At its core, this debate isn't about one player's struggles. It's about decision-making rooted in evidence, about recognizing the unforgiving stakes of late-inning baseball and acting accordingly. Boone has alternatives. He has choices. And yet, over and over, he places his trust in Williams, wagering on a turnaround that never materializes. It's not strategy, it's a high-stakes gamble. One the Yankees cannot afford if they intend to contend deep into October. Fans are watching. Analysts are watching. The numbers are watching. And the conclusion is unavoidable. Relying on a faltering pitcher in the crucible of the game has repeatedly burned this team. At some point, the lesson must be learned. But the saga didn't end there. Shockwaves rattled the baseball world yesterday as whispers escalated into seismic headlines. Major League Baseball has reportedly levied a stunning penalty against the Yankees, stripping away 4 victories from their record. The rationale remains shrouded in secrecy, but insiders hint at violations that could shake the very foundations of the franchise's management and roster construction. In the Bronx, disbelief has erupted into outrage. Social media flooded with anger and confusion. "You don't expect this to happen to the Yankees," lamented one lifelong season ticket holder. "It feels like the rug's been yanked from beneath us." Analysts speculate possible links to undisclosed breaches of league rules, perhaps eligibility concerns, financial infractions, or even off-field misconduct. Yet MLB has issued no clarifying statement, leaving the situation ripe for rumor and debate. The Yankees organization has remained uncharacteristically silent, issuing only a terse acknowledgement that they are reviewing the league's decision. Meanwhile, rival clubs watch intently from the shadows, recognizing that this upheaval could alter the balance of power in the American League. Some insiders whisper about potential appeals, internal probes, and the likelihood that this drama is only beginning to unfold. That wraps up this update. If you value unfiltered Yankees coverage and exclusive updates, make sure to hit subscribe and drop a like. Share your thoughts below. We want to hear your voice in this debate. Until next time, stay tuned for more breaking stories from the Bronx. Thank you guys. See you next video.